All right, guys, we're back here for another Dokkan battle video. So we have massive info here for the Tanabata celebration. The DOKKANFEST LR is UI Goku. It did seem as though signs were pointing towards UI Goku as the DOKKANFEST LR, and that's exactly what it is. It is from the second fight with Jiren at the end of the Tournament of Power. As we could see, it's a UI Goku that does transform into, mastered UI, ultra, just like regular. I mean, it's because this is Ultra Instinct sign, and then he goes into regular Ultra Instinct, right? Seems like a pretty elite character. Let's just jump in. There's a lot of news. There's actually so much news. I think this video is just going to cover UI Goku, and then the banner unit is Dispo, and there's an Easy and a lot of these other details we could just talk about afterwards. But for now, we're just going to focus and cover mainly on, the DOKKANFEST LR UI Goku, who seemingly is going to be one of the best units in the game. Let's see exactly how nuts it's going to be. Okay, wait, so Gresh put everything, it's all right here. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. So this is DOKKANFEST LR UI Goku. This is monstrous. All right, so let's start by looking at his stats. So his defense seems fine. Attack is kind of like the normal range of a DOKKANFEST LR, and same with his HP. Stats just generally look good. So leader skill is Universal Survival Saga, Realm of Gods, or Entrusted Will. So instantly I look at that and Beast Gohan is on Entrusted Will. We have Carnival Gogeta, who is on whatchamacallit. Carnival Gogeta is on Realm of Gods, of course. Let me just take a glance at Entrusted. This is Entrusted Will right here. So this would get TEQ Ultimate Gohan potentially on there, Beast Gohan on there. Future Gohan wouldn't synergize well since both him and the new LR Goku have a domain. I guess to sort of hope Trunks. Mainly, though, the Gammas, yeah. Mainly the Entrusted Will, we're getting Beast and LR Gammas, and, we're getting some real stuff right here. Okay. So that's pretty good right there. All right, so Universal Survival Saga, Realm of Gods, or Entrusted Will, category key 370% stats, plus an additional 30% to characters who are also on Reps Universe 7, Accelerated Battle, or Powerful Comeback. Okay, sure. So he does have an intro animation, entrance animation. His 12-key super attack, he gets 30% attack for one turn, 50% defense for one turn, colossal damage, and then raise allies' attack by 30% for one turn. Okay. 18-key super is the Kamehameha. So he gets 50% attack for one turn, 30% defense for one turn, Meg Colossal damage, and then allies get 30% defense for one turn. Okay. All right, so far so good. The buffs to allies could be good if he's going to be a strong slot 1. The thing is, though, I doubt we would be incentivized to really get this guy in slot 1 over Mastered UI, Evolution Blue Vegeta, or Beast at the start of these fights. The thing with this guy, if we're running him with a superhero type lineup, this guy would assume a slot run role deep into the fight, not at the start, right? Well, but let's just see what this UI Goku looks like here. So, intro, when there's one other Universal Survival Saga ally in the team, that's painless, effortless. Evolution Blue Vegeta and UI Goku are both fantastic, and that's not a problem whatsoever. Gain 4 key, 77% attack and defense for 7 turns. Okay, so that's just going to be up until you transform, presumably. And then an additional 77% attack and defense for 4 turns. Okay. So he gets, that a buff for 7 turns, and then a smaller buff for just a couple of turns right there. Okay. That looks pretty good. Sure. Then he gets 7 key, 200% stats. Okay, so he's got a lot of stats, man. 70% chance to dodge, 70% chance to crit, 15% damage reduction, and then 35% damage reduction until receiving an attack. So his first hit, he has 50% damage reduction. So he has 70% dodge and 50% damage reduction. And then when he gets hit, he gets guard for the rest of the turn. So he starts out 70% damage reduction and 50%, or excuse me, 70% dodge, 50% damage reduction. Then he gets hit, and then he has 70% dodge, 15% damage reduction, and guard. I mean, that's very elite. Because, guys, if we're going to start having these characters that can tank these bosses, that's the type of shit you got to have. Yeah, that is very good. Again, that's not as good. Like, okay, it sounds super good. It is. But, like, turn 1, that's not as good as what Beast, AGL UI, and in Evolution Blue Vegeta are doing, though. Right? Because in Evolution Blue Vegeta, well, maybe it's a little bit better than him. Like, if we're talking in Evolution Blue Vegeta in slot 1, maybe. Because, again, AGL UI is 100% dodge. And Beast is, has infinite damage reduction with guard. But, like, this, I mean, it's... You guys get what I'm saying. I'm just... Remember, this is a DOKKANFEST LR. The standard that I'm comparing this UI Goku to instantly, there is no reason not to do it, is to the top 4 on this screen right here. These are the characters I'm just completely comparing UI Goku basically only to these 4 right here. That's kind of the scale that this guy is on. But, I mean, it's just, he can go slot 1. I mean, turn 2, this guy would certainly be better in slot 1 than UI Goku Evolution Blue Vegeta. Probably not Beast, but still those two. I mean, that's just very good, though. 70% dodge, and then, they gave him guard and damage reduction. It's such a far cry from what these UI Gokus used to look like, right? Then he gets an additional super after dodging an enemy's attack during that turn. Okay, so very similar to Beast, actually. Beast gets hit and gets an additional super. Cell Max gets supered, gets an additional super. This Goku dodges and gets an additional super. If we put this guy in slot 1 instead of Beast Gohan, right, we would also factor in this right here, right? These buffs that he gives to allies. Huh. Perform an additional 70% chance to be a super as the second or third attacker in a turn. So they kind of, yeah, okay, interesting. So they kind of had the same idea that I did, that as good as he is in slot 1 comparative, to Beast and the other TOP characters, like, it's not going to be as impressive. So they gave him this. I see. It's like already, I mean, this is just very strong. He's a good character to run. And this stuff just never goes away. I want to see what his defense looks like in game, because now my brain is turning, okay, what is he going to look like if he's not transformed, right? Like, how well imagine this guy in slot 3 with 70% dodge and then 50% damage reduction, but again, he doesn't have multiplicative buffs, though, keep in mind, right? Like, it's just start a turn, start a turn, start a turn. No multiplicative buffs here. So I would actually think that his stats would potentially end up being a little bit lower than what people are thinking. So his awakening, transformation into mastered UI here, it's 5th turn from the start of turn, 5th turn from first appearance. So it's bad, unfortunately. I mean, let's just call it. It's bad. He has a bad transformation condition. It's good that there's no HP hoops to jump through or anything like that, but this is the same condition that Broly has, and it's not good. Right now, in most of these fights, we would be wrapping up the fight before this guy even transforms into Mastered UI. There are fights like Red Zone Movie Boss Rush, and there is... I think they did. Again, I'm going to cover all... There's so much news to cover, right? Yeah, I mean, they've got this new Supreme Battle Spectacle already announced in-game and stuff like that. I'm sure that there potentially, hopefully, will be way longer fights. It would be good. Because where this guy will be able to synergize incredibly well with, like, Beast Gohan and, AGL UI, Evolution Blue Vegeta, those guys are all completely dominant at the start, but Beast will taper off towards the end of the fight. So that's where, like, Gogeta comes in, where his active taunt comes in at the end of the fight, and where this guy will come in as well. being better towards the end of the fight. All right, so we could do this from 5th turn from the start of turn. So again, if he starts out in slot 7, you're not able to transform with him until turn 7, which is like egregious. It's really awful. So he'll do his, and he pops a domain as well. Remember, there's only 3 superclass domains at the moment. This guy, Future Gohan, and Int free-to-play Trunks. So it's like domain doesn't really hurt this guy compared to, whatchamacallit. The domain doesn't really hurt this guy compared to, like, you know, the Super Boss's characters where they're all on the same team, all fighting over the domain slot, right? Keep that in mind. And then he gives all superclass allies 4 ki for 3 turns. Like, top-tier superheroes isn't really going to need that. That does help AGL UI and Evolution Blue Vegeta, though, to ensure that they're at 24 ki for their guaranteed crits and extra attack buffs. That's good. Then superclass allies and enemies, 15% stats. That's scary when we're talking about, like, Gogeta Blue getting the stat buff and stuff like that. Is a bit scary. This is so nuts. So, disables enemy evasion canceling effects. And then 15% attack for allies who are also in Realm of Gods. Oh my god, dude. That's just so crazy. So, while this domain is up, bosses cannot cancel dodge. Now, dodge canceling is not like very prevalent right now. There's the Broly movie memorial fight. There's like the hit Dokkan event. The blue Kaioken Goku Supreme Battle Spectacle fight. This is not going to work because it doesn't. He can't do it until like turn 7. Turn 5, turn 6, turn 7. The stats buff. I mean, I just imagine superhero with this domain up, dude. Oh my god. Link set, prepare for battle, over in a flash, godly power, Kamehameha, turn of power, fierce battle, legendary power. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay. Okay. Sure, man. Okay. Universal Rival Saga, Realm of Gods, and Trusted Will, Rescue Universe 7, Accelerated Battle, Powerful Comeback, Pure Saiyan, Goku Family Turtle School, Miraculous Awakening, Legendary Existence, Bond of Friendship, Bond of Parent Child, Superhero, Earth by Fighters, Turn of Participant, Transformation Boost, Kamehameha, Battle Fate. He's on every team. In terms of, like, how he affects every team, well, I guess you don't need his intro up, but, I mean, that's a lot of stats and ki he would be losing, right? Because what does he have? He gets 11 ki at the start of turn. So he's, like, guaranteed 18 ki supering. That's really good, by the way. That's another thing to really not discount about this guy. Is ki is just never a problem for him. That is good. That's a good thing. Okay. So Goku Ultra Instinct. So he transforms. I did notice Gresh made a note here as well. So, over in a flash becomes shocking speed after transforming. Okay. So, there is that right there. Okay. Okay, so we become Mastered UI, Perfected, Ultra Instinct, regular Ultra Instinct, whatever you want to say. 12 ki gets 50% attack and defense for 1 turn, colossal damage, and disable enemy guard. 18 ki, 50% attack and defense, med colossal damage, all allies. 59, that is so strong, dude. Wow. 59% attack and defense for 1 turn. Alright, get ready for this, because this is where it gets real silly. 300% attack and defense at the start of turn. 7 ki, 59% attack, and guaranteed dodge. And all allies 10% dodge chance for 1 turn. Now, I believe this is just going to be an addition to allies. So, like, EGL... I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it is. So, like, EGL UI Goku would be at 87% chance to dodge, right? Or it should be plus in addition to any, hidden potential system builds and shit like that. But, I mean, this is... Again, this is where he synergizes crazy with Beast. Because, right around when Beast is losing his intro, this guy domains. And then he can take over slot 1. And then you have Gogeta's active and shit. Like, it's... I don't know how good they want Superhero to be, but... we do understand that he's... I mean, Beast didn't really have weaknesses, but if there was a perceived weakness, which isn't something you really see, it's that he could get caught deep in the fight. But now... this guy is around. Right. So... Okay, so there's that. Because remember, I mean, he'd be buffing, Beast and all these characters with the domain. This is support. And then also with this. And of course, I mean, this guy go in slot 1, he has 100% dodge. He has 100% dodge. And there's nothing the boss can do about that. Because he cancels dodge canceling. So he has 100% dodge no matter what. That's why, like, we are getting into a point where how can they power... Like, it's like this guy, once he transforms, it's nuts. But, you're not able to do this on turn 3 or something like that, right? Then he gets 3 key, crit, and dodge, 20% per attack performed. Max of 12 key, so that's 4 dodges. And then, 4 dodges to get the max crit and dodge. So I guess it looks like there is... Let me keep reading, but it looks like potentially maybe there's an issue if turn 1 you transform, there's not a lot of attacks aimed at him. Or like maybe, okay, we actually have to float him off here to make sure to build up the dodge. Let's keep going. So this is where it gets... So he's a counter character. Counter with tremendous power after dodging. This is nuts. Like, it's just 20% damage reduction, and then another 40% damage reduction until receive. See a 60% damage reduction. Ooh. After receiving an attack, guard activated against all attacks during that turn. Okay, it's just like his base. Then gain additional 91% attack. And chance to perform a crit. And dodge plus 20% if HP's 50% or below at the start of turn. So he gets extra 91% attack, 20% crit, 20% dodge. Then additional super key, it's 24. Dude, oh my god. It's just... When he is so... like, this is, like, the most broken we've seen, I think. Like, transform mastered UI. Like, this guy is actually more broken than anything. I think. Because I just, like... when you factor in that he's supporting, right? And then he's got the support right there. Because, I mean, dude, you put him in slot 1. If you'd have 77% dodge with 60% damage reduction. And then he gets hit, and then he's guarding with... And he's got a guaranteed additional built in. And, I mean, oh, by the way, he's got the huge crit as well. And dude, he's a counter. Yeah, Mastered UI transformed is the most broken thing we've seen. Okay. They went ridiculous with this guy. Wow. Because, like... Because the boss, like, there's no... I will say this. I don't know that he needed to cancel dodge canceling. I just feel like that's so... Because what can they do to stop this guy? I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be... An enemy's gonna come out that cancels his dodge canceling or something, right? Like, it has to be. I mean, they don't really go to dodge canceling much, but... okay. Okay. Turn 5. This... Okay. I think... This is going to be shocking to people... I think I would actually have UI Goku right here. I think. People are going to get... listen. Right now, yes, when he transforms, he's better than everything by far. Like, there's nothing... like, Beast is not like this. This is, like, completely different. But this is quite deep into the fights, man. Like, most of these fights are not... Like, we can get one turn of UI Goku at the very end. I mean, to be fair, it's like we get that UI Goku, against Blue Gogeta. against, you know, the end of turn beast or something like that. But I just think, I don't know. Because it's like he's good here, but he's not as good as the other characters at the start. It's he transforms and gets nuts, but it's a similar concept to Gogeta, right? But it's like Gogeta. I mean, this UI Goku is much better than Gogeta and Broly at the start, but it's a similar thing where like he's very good in base. I mean, that's even saying very good is probably not quite accurate. Like, he's better than very good. It's just that the combo of, like, just 70% dodge, 70% crit, damage reduction, guard, like... But remember, he doesn't have multiplicative stats here. He doesn't transform either, right? Well, okay, 300%, then he's getting that. That's just for one turn. Yeah, because even this is just start a turn, right? I mean, he does have the support, but he is supporting too. It's actually stunning how broken actually this UI Goku is. Like it's crazy. Because he does all this, and he's countering. At them giving him like he would be like better than Beast once transformed, even without counters, and they gave him counters on top of it. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna need to... We'll see. I would say there's a very good chance the new hardest fight in the game is gonna come from this. And maybe that would then be like, okay, now it's like UI Goku actually is like, you know, like such a must. Okay. So, yeah, right now, I don't know. Maybe, He's on this level with these four for sure. But it's hard because it's once he transforms, he's like beyond, like transformed you. Like it's like if I did this, it's like I could kind of like transform UI would be right there. Like I almost would have to do that so people understand. Like the master transform UI would be Z tier by himself. Beast Cell Max would be right here. And then, like, UI, Goku, Evolution Blue Vegeta, I think the UI sign might be right here. And then down here will be, like, Gogeta, Bootangs, Broly, and them, and shit. I think. Is what I would do. Huh. We'll see. We'll see. This is the most busted shit we've seen thus far in this game. By, like, stunning... Dude, it's stunning. Again, he's better than Beast transformed without the counters. And they gave him counters. He counters with 77% chance to crit, dude.